What's up YouTube, this is LDS Reliance. Today I wanted to just do a quick little video. Once again, before I start, I am not a professional reviewer. I'm not paid to do this, and I'm just doing it to show you the way I think and some of the equipment that I use, just in case anyone's curious. But I picked this up, this Yeti blackout USB microphone on Black Friday sale. It was a really good deal, and I just couldn't pass it up. And it's going to replace a couple different things for me. Number one is this piece of junk. This is older than the hills, but this is a Logitech webcam that I've been using. I haven't used it for actual video on any of my YouTube videos, but I have used it for voiceover work with the built-in microphone in it, and it's left a little bit to be desired, to say the least. I've also used a couple times this Samsung unit that I bought for my son a while back. He uses it for gaming, but it's a pretty good model, but it's only about 50 bucks, so it's it's good, but it's not amazing. And obviously he uses it a lot, so I can't use it very often. And then also occasionally I have used, once or twice, I have used a gaming headset like this for voiceover work. And then last but not least is the lavalier mic that lapel mic that I've got strapped to me right now. I use this one for almost all of my YouTube videos now. But what I wanted to do, first of all, unbox this and show you what it's all about. One of the reasons I like this is because it's got different functions. It's actually multiple pattern, meaning that it can do both the dynamic and the, what is it called? Sorry, I'm not an expert at this. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. It's got several modes that it can do different things. So I'm going to show you that here in a bit, and then we'll do some comparisons between this unit and some of the other pieces that I've used in the past, just so we can kind of hear the differences in audio quality. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them to my computer here, and we're just going to use the basic Windows settings. I'm not going to tweak anything. I'm not going to try to filter out white noise or anything like that. You're just going to get what you get. That's the only fair way to do it. And then after that, there are lots of functions and different settings on here that you can really get. You can do good voiceover work with it. You can do vocals if you're a musician. There's all kinds of different settings, so we'll get into that a little bit toward the end. Hopefully this isn't too long, but I promise I won't yammer on too much more. We'll get right into unboxing this. Okay, so go ahead and open this up and see what we've got. Now this is a USB microphone, like I mentioned, so obviously will come with cabling. Got your manual there. Now this is actually bigger than I was expecting it to be based upon the pictures, so I'm not sure if you can get the scale of this thing, but it is it's pretty heavy, and it's pretty beastly to put on your desk. So something like that, or pointed at you. But what can I compare it to? Here's some scissors, but it's pretty big, pretty big and heavy. It takes up a little real estate on your desk. You're not going to want to be. This is not portable by any stretch of the imagination. But that's what it looks like. On the front, it's got a mute button, which is handy. Volume button. That's for headset though, so normally you probably won't be using that. But back here, it's got a gain control, so you can use the Windows settings or Macintosh or whatever you're using, but you can also use this, which will be much handier, obviously. And then these are the different patterns, like I was talking about, that you can right there in the hardware. You can switch how the microphone behaves. And then here on the bottom you can actually probably attach it to a tripod if you really wanted to. You can screw in something there at the bottom, not sure what that's for, but here's where you connect your USB cable, and then the aforementioned headphones if you were going to use that, and then the volume control will actually do something. And last but not least, here on the sides, once you get this in whatever configuration you want, you can go ahead and tighten down these screws on the side, and it will prevent it. It's still going to move slightly probably unless you really crank down on it, but it'll prevent it from moving all over the place. Okay, here we've got it plugged in, and now the red light is on. If you hit the mute button, it'll start flashing and kind of visually tell you that the mute's on. That's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch over to voiceover mode. I'm not going to use I'm going to film on the camcorder, but I'm not going to talk into the camcorder anymore. I'm going to use each of these in succession. First we'll start off with, actually we'll start with poorest quality, and I'll use that old Logitech, and then we'll go from there, and then kind of do a side-by-side comparison between some of these different devices. Obviously they're for different purposes, so they're not supposed to compete necessarily with each other, but I'm just curious to see kind of what they sound like compared to each other. Okay, so for this part I'm using the Logitech webcam, and my mouth is about a foot away from the opening for the mic on this webcam, so you can get a pretty good idea of what it would be like in a voiceover type situation. Okay, next up we've got this gaming headset. I've used this a couple times in voiceovers, and it leaves quite a bit to be desired. I usually have to turn the mic gain way up to get it to work, but my mouth is only a few inches from the little boom mic thing here, and so it should be good, but and keep in mind this is one of the only ones besides the lavalier mic that is not USB. Okay, next up is this Samson mic. I've got it here in my hand. It's supposed to clip up on top of the monitor like this, but it doesn't like the shape of mine. But anyway, once again, this is my son's, and it is a USB. It is really good quality. I would totally use this one, but it's not available to me very often, and I'm about a foot and a half or so. My mouth is from the microphone, so take that into consideration. Okay, now we've got the lapel mic, or the lavalier mic here. It's pinned onto my lapel, and it stays only 4 to 6 inches from my mouth at any given time, and it does really good quality. It's got a little windscreen on it. It's the best of all of these, I'm sure, for using outdoors, but it is corded and got a really long cord, and it's meant to record audio to your camera or camcorder, so it's not the most ideal for voiceover work, but here it is just for comparison's sake. Okay, last but not least is the new mic, the Yeti, and it is a USB once again, and I have not touched any of the settings. I have not. Right now my mouth's about 6 inches away. If you bring it in closer, like people like to do on talk shows or whatever, or disc jockeys, it's probably going to sound much louder, but I haven't touched any of the dials. I haven't changed any settings on Windows, so hopefully this is going to be a good comparison. And now I'll cut away and get some final thoughts. Okay, I haven't compared these, but I played around with the settings a little bit, and switched this to cardioid mode, which is probably the best one for podcasts and for voiceovers. So I think this is going to sound a little bit better. I've also turned up the mic gain because it did sound a little bit quiet with the default settings in Windows and so forth. So all of that once again can be done with these dials on here, and but it does have a stereo mode. It does have cardioid mode, omnidirectional and bidirectional. Now that's pretty unique. Usually a microphone's only one or the other, whether it's omnidirectional or cardioid or whatever. Usually it can't do multiple modes like that. So that's one of the reasons why I got this. And so hopefully this has been informative, and it's probably going to be a long video now. I apologize for that, but thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.